Hey everyone, Nukin here and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a quickie, I hope. I have family in town, so just kind of doing a quick commentary. This is the special mission where you use ROLO as your leader with Captain Han Solo and you take on the AT-ST. This is the final encounter on autoplay from my footage is from my guildmate Obi Kryze, and this is what the final encounter looks like. You always have two Imperial probe droids, one snowtrooper commander, and of course the AT-ST. So I am highlighting this concept that first of all, you can do this with this setup. Now that you have Jedi Training Rey, you can use her to help yourself be less spread thin if you were able to acquire her. And just by putting her in BB-8, that is all that you need. And not only that, you can do it on auto. And so I will be highlighting the manual play later in the video, and I will also show what I'm suggesting now. If you acquire Jedi Training Rey, what teams you can use now for the entire phase. So let's get into the teams real fast. So here are the team suggestions. So for the special mission, it's the very first team. You're forced to use ROLO as your leader. I don't like that. You're also forced to use Captain Han Solo. That's fine. But you're using BB-8 and Rey as your pickup characters with the roll with the punches Zeta on BB-8. Him and I think it's a him, right? And Rey do enough damage output to beat the mission. Then you have General Kenobi as your tank. If you don't have him start up, use a different tank or consider using a support character like Zeta Barris or something. For the light side node, you should dust off your Zeta fins and run the old school resistance squad. You actually don't need BB-8 or R2D2 to be successful with this team if they are modded properly on manual, and if they are modded well, you can actually auto this mission as well. So that's two missions on auto. That's awesome. And then for the rebel mission, you can run a Commander Luke Skywalker lead because he's the best rebel leader. And if you don't have him, then you should use Wedge or maybe even Old Ben as your leader, or maybe even try a Phoenix squad. But I think this is definitely the best squad here. CLS, R2D2, Old Ben, Han Solo, and Ezra Bridger. If you don't have Han Solo or Old Ben, consider using Wedge and Biggs in that slot there. And then for the Rogue One mission, I made a video all about Rogue One, so you should just check that out actually, and I won't go into detail here, but that's the recommended team that I suggest for most people. But you can also use Bistan or Scarif Rebel Pathfinder as your fifth instead of K2SO. So here is the team on manual play now, so you can actually get to see what's going on. Sort of the goal here is to not go crazy before you get to the final encounter. So what that means is you have Illuminated Destiny ready to go or almost ready to go in the final encounter. You have the special ability ready to go in the final encounter. That means that you're probably using it in the first wave to kind of let it recharge. I think the more platoons you do, the faster it recharges, so that may vary. So the first wave is pretty easy, especially if you do use the special. So going into the second wave, we have one elite here. I'm not sure if you have more, but if you do have more, it's not going to be very high because I think the last encounter only has 3 elites unless you count the AT-ST as one. You can probably use Illuminated Destiny here, and my friend Ethan Shocks decided to do that here. Just make sure that you're controlling the team. You don't let that probe droid explode on your face. It's going to do big damage, and that if you are going to use Illuminated Destiny, that it's almost off cooldown before you get to the final encounter. That means switching to just using a bunch of basics and passive abilities as much as you can to prolong actually getting to the final encounter right away. So here we are just using a bunch of basics here. So going into the final encounter, it's always going to be this sort of setup: 2 probe droids, the commander, and the AT-ST. You should use your ability Mind Tricks with Rey on one of the probe droids and try to really take out one of the droids right away. It ends up actually exploding in Captain Han's face, but that's all right. But that droid almost actually ended up dying before I was able to do anything. And then you want to make sure that you have ability or buff immunity on the AT-ST so it doesn't taunt, so you can focus on the last elite. And then once you've taken that out, you have free reign to basically just do a bunch of pew pew and take out the ATST. Alright, so I'm going to quickly wrap up. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment or hit me up on Discord if you want to talk more about the special mission or phase 6 of Light Side TB. This is footage of yours truly playing with Wedge and Biggs because I don't have Jedi Training Rey unlocked on my main account. Wedge and Biggs, or Wigs, has enough damage to kill the pesky pro droids before they explode, so that is good. And I was able to beat the match, so feel free to stay till the end of the video to check out how that went down. Yeah, basically this was a video on how to do the special mission. If you have Jedi Training Rey, it kind of frees up your availability of characters so you can be less spread thin in the final phase. You can auto this mission with the recommended team, and then I gave some team suggestions for what you can do for the other battles. And then if you're not feeling lucky or you don't want to risk it, you can play it on manual, and we kind of went over kind of how to go about doing that. So hopefully everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and of course if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Like running, the chopper go out to the running. This nigga pull up your bandit.